Hello, it's Tom Myers, Superintendent of Bellevue Community School District, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. Want to give you an update on the recent board meeting last night, some different things that went on there. Starting off with, we had some recommendations to hire assistant boys basketball coach, and boys basketball season actually just started yesterday. We have two coaches there going to share one position, Steve Nemmers and Todd Felderman. They will share the pay for that one position. Elementary associate Audrey Rowling was hired, and middle school, high school wrestling, we approved a volunteer assistant coach by the name of Ryan Kilberg. So glad to have them on board, joining our team of educators that way. We also had some visitors last night from a common curriculum presentation from grades 1 through 5. We had some students there, and then we also had their parents there. They gave a program on Veterans Day, basically a reader's theater type group. Excellent job by them, and you'll see the video on Facebook here later on tonight. We'll also talk about the phone system in the Bellevue School District. We're going to update our phone system, and ultimately over the next couple of years, we will save over $15,000 with what we're doing right now, compared to what we're doing right now. So it's a good system. There will be an automated system when you first call in, likely to one of the numbers to the elementary, middle school, high school, or the central office, but then we'll get you directly where you need to go. Or if you have an extension you know directly, you can call that extension directly. Give you more information later on about that. I don't anticipate this happening for the next couple months, but just to let you know what's going on that way. Also had a discussion about the facilities and focusing on the elementary building and also on the middle school, high school music room. The facilities committee in the past talked about, if we're going to do something, let's do it right. Let's just not hodgepodge something together, but let's do it the correct way, and let's get a long-term plan. As a result of that, the board decided to have the superintendent, or myself, I guess you would say, actually contact some architectural firms in the area that I've actually visited with some already off and on as they've come around wondering what's going on here and if we're ever interested. So I will be contacting some of them in the upcoming weeks, and they will report to the board about what their procedures would be, what their perspectives may be. But the board and myself truly want to make sure that we have a chance to communicate with them about our desires, and being we, meaning anyone involved in the school, anyone involved in the community, as a parent or just a community member. So some opportunities to share what your thoughts are and what you think we need to do in the future that way. We also had a discussion about staffing and financial aspects, comment finance that way. Currently, right now, we're up 13 students for this school year, which will mean we will get money for them next school year, actually. But that's a great thing for us. We talked about an early retirement incentive. We're going to hold that off for at least a year right now, based on our finances being in fine shape that way and no major concerns in any regard. We also had the district survey information. I shared some overall results with them, and I gave them some copies of some individual comments that were made. But some overall results, I'm just going to read off the first three here. I'll put this all online later on. The first question was, the district provides a high quality education to all students, and 97% of our people believe that we do. In the past, it was 91% and 97% the last 2 years. When students graduate, they are prepared for college and the workforce. Strongly agree and agree ended up being 92%, which is up from 85% and down a little bit from last year, it was 93%. The schools have high expectations for students. We went up this year from 92 and 95% to 97%. 97% agree or strongly agree. So those are some just general areas here. I'll put the other stuff on there, but we were above, we're in the upper 80s to low 90s in all of them that way. Legislative update. I went to a meeting at the Mississippi Bend Area Education Agency last week, and some representatives from Iowa School Board Association, School Administrators of Iowa, Iowa State Education Association, and the overall state AAA were there. They talked about educating legislators, and that's just not school staff, but that's also parents contacting legislators, telling them how important it is to provide adequate funding for our schools and for the education of our students, and share what is going well in schools, what's not, what you like, what we need, everything like that. So some big items to watch: school state supplemental aid, collective bargaining agreements, taxes, water quality, assessment funding, or just assessments in general. Right now we're scheduled to go to Smarter Balance next school year, and we've been making some preparations for that. But there is some question about the funding for that. That test right now is about 4 times as expensive as the current test that we're giving. Although we do believe Smarter Balance is a better assessment for our kids, we also need some funding to help fund that way. So Also, some discussion there about educational savings accounts and making sure that public schools are still getting the right amount of money as well. If you ever have any questions about that, feel free to give me a call. We had a comment reading and reflection about mindset and praising students' effort, but also making sure we praise students' effort for them doing the right thing and working hard, not just if they win, lose, get an answer right, do well, whatever, but talk about the effort and the persistence that they're showing to things. Some informational items I shared. We talked about the River Valley Conference. The Anamosa Community School District is seeking to get into the River Valley Conference. We have a meeting, or the superintendents have a meeting on November 30th about this. Anamosa would be the second largest school in the district in our conference if they would come in. But we also believe they would be proximity-wise, it's about an hour from here. Not a bad trip. So we will see what everyone else in the conference feels, but I will keep you posted with anything that I hear. We also talked about the extracurricular updates. We had a great musical recently. Chris Dockham did a wonderful job with how to succeed in business without really trying. Excellent performances there by everyone involved. Also talked about food allergies and some policies we're going to be creating for that. So a district newsletter and brochure. We'll be sending out a electronic newsletter here in the upcoming week. Basically, you'll be getting that. We're also working on a new school district brochure created by our 7th grade students and then refined a little bit by the Buzz Creative Group in St. Donatus. So you'll be getting that soon, or hopefully by Christmas time. And then our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, December 3rd. Once again, it's a Tuesday instead of a Monday. We have concerts scheduled those nights that way. So I want to let you kind of know a little bit about that. We have an elementary concert December 12th, high school concert on December 19th, middle school music concert on December 20th. Some other information for this upcoming week here. Thursday, we have 7th grade girls basketball versus North Cedar, and that's here. 8th grade travels to North Cedar, and our high school girls basketball team plays in a jamboree. That's a half, and they'll play at Cascade against Easton Valley. No events on Friday, which is very weird. That way, we've had events on Friday for the last how many weeks. But Saturday, we had the Little Shooting Stars Wrestling Tournament run here by Coach Rip and the wrestling staff. That starts at 8 o'clock and will probably last virtually all day till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon or maybe later. I encourage you to come out for that. Cheer on wrestlers not only from Bellevue but the surrounding areas. And then on Monday next week, we have just some different practices as we get ready for the Thanksgiving break, but we also have girls basketball versus Monticello. 8th grade is home and 7th grade is at Monticello. And then Tuesday night, we have JV and varsity girls kicking off their season versus Monticello, and that's here in Bellevue at 6 o'clock. Once again, that's Tuesday, November 22nd. Reminder, we have no school Wednesday, November 23rd, all the way through Thanksgiving. Start up the following Monday. Hope to see all of you at the events coming up. We'll have a basketball beginning in full motion as we come back after Thanksgiving with boys and girls teams. Wrestling will be getting going as well. Everyone started practice. Bowling will be getting going. Our school archery team, our school affiliated archery team is starting up as well very soon. So a lot of things for kids to get involved in. Hope you are, if you have students, get them involved in something. If you don't have students, encourage your neighbors, your friends to get involved. It's one of the best ways to increase attendance, which is also very good at the Bellevue schools, but we want to keep it that way. One of the best ways to increase attendance and for better academic grades is to be involved in extracurricular activities. On that note, have a great day. Enjoy the weather out there once again, and we'll go from there. See you next week.